What's up, y'all? It's your girl Zeze back with another Mother 11 vid. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on my notifications bell, get us join the thumbs up, share this mug, all that. You feel me? So today's video, I'm not really sure what I want to call this yet. I haven't decided completely on what the title is going to be. I'm going in between black women still out of order, black women that lost their damn mind, black women losing their minds, black women out of order and lost their minds. I don't even know where I'm gonna go with it. All I know is I wanted to talk about the, for lack of better words, toxic femininity that is being displayed heavily, okay, in some of our black women, a lot with platforms. Some of them that probably shouldn't have them, but yeah, they have a lot of black women following them and have a lot of influence. And I'm like, yeah, I should probably call some of this out because a lot of our women are going to be falling for this nonsense. Now, I don't really want to call it toxic femininity because I don't like that toxic. Okay, just like they try to throw around toxic masculinity. It's not a, you know, there's not a masculinity or femininity isn't toxic. Okay, they do have some bad or harsh or wrong or things of that nature aspects to them, but toxic I don't think is an appropriate word. But first things first, I was going to talk about this one on live, but I decided we'll make a rant about it. But I was a little late. I mean, I don't know, but I still feel like I should say something about it. So let me just go ahead and get this out of the way first. B Simone and her friend Megan, they have a podcast together. I've done a reaction to one of their podcasts before, and by the time I got to like the third episode of their podcast, they did one on abortions. I said, yeah. I'm not y'all target demographic. I'm probably in the age range of it, but I'm not y'all target demographic. This ain't for me. I don't want to hear some of the nonsense they were saying. It's just I wasn't in alignment with this. So I already knew that it was only a matter of time that they probably went viral for something, not so great, egregious. But I have seen this clip that has been going viral. All right, they're talking about Dr. Martin Luther King cheating. Let me just say this first. First of all, y'all gonna stop. Y'all gonna stop using our damn ancestors as examples. Like, use somebody else. Use somebody that's alive. Use somebody else's lineage or ancestors. Like, it's always, and not just for them specifically, but for a lot of people. Okay, this ain't the first time I've said this. Always want to use Black American ancestors. Why? Like, why do you want to use us as examples, bro? There's so many other places you can go with that. So many other people you can use that are still alive. Literally, not only for this topic, but for everything. You don't gotta use us, bro. Go ahead. Go use somebody else. Go, do some research on history or something. Damn, get out of here.
What is more important, the perception of how we see a thing or what that thing really is? And I'm going to give you an example.
What the thing really is.
What's more important, the fact that Martin Luther King is the man that we see that fought for freedom, or the fact that he was cheating on his wife?
Jesus. I think, move.
See, I think right there she realized that, okay, maybe she shouldn't have used him as an example. That's why she had to do the get up off me. Because now I got to figure out a scramble way to get up out of this question without being dragged.
What's more important? Because that is the reality of the fact. He was a great man who knew God's word, who led people to freedom. He was cheating on his wife. That is a fact. So what is...
And it's not a fact. I also got to stop you right there. You know what's crazy? Because when I first seen this, my first initial reaction was, what the heck? Like, what? Of course, him being a leader is more important. I don't give a damn. You know how many times I've heard Martin Luther King cheated on his wife, the whole tape, FBI, whole thing. Never really cared. I never really cared about that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I never even really looked into it because I was like... It's Martin Luther King. He had a little side chick, whatever. Who cares? The fact that his wife was devoted to him, and not only to him, but his movement and the things that he pushed for Black Americans. I was like, why am I worried about him having a side chick? I'm gonna shout out Pink Book Lessons because I watched like some of her video on this, and she was like, this is not an absolute fact. So I had to go look it up myself because I didn't even, honestly, like I said, it was a non-factor to me whether it was true or not. But I think we should clear this up. I read this article with Coretta Scott King talking about the allegations against her husband, and this is what she had to say. Coretta insisted it was simply an effort to boost book sales. Not only did she vehemently insist that there were no others, she certainly never addressed the issue with the weepy resignation portrayed in Selma. She argued that the image of Martin as an unfaithful husband was a part of FBI Dr. J. Edgar Hoover's ongoing campaign to nullify his influence by destroying his marriage and his life. Now, as we know, Black men, especially Black leaders, Black revolutionaries, they always get 2 deaths. Okay, they die initially, and I don't even want to say die and put it that simply. He was killed. He was assassinated. Okay, and then they get a second death of their legacy. Okay, they always try to tarnish a Black man's legacy somehow, some way. Coretta said she did receive a tape recording at her home in January 1965. A package she later learned was sent by the FBI. As portrayed in the movie, it is widely reported that the tape contained sexual sounds that were meant to incriminate Martin, but Coretta disputes that history. When I listened to the tape, it had nothing to do with my husband having sex. It was a loud social function with people telling dirty jokes, nothing like what I have seen reported in the press. Okay, so this is coming straight from out his wife's mouth. He did not cheat on me, and I never got any real proof that he actually was. So her sitting there saying this as so matter of factly, like, yeah, he definitely cheated on his wife. Baby, you're going by the FBI saying. Are we really going to stand by the government now? The same government that literally attacked him his whole career, his whole life, up until they assassinated him. And not only him, but other brothers and sisters around him who was fighting for the same cause. Are we really being serious right now?
Is more important? Is it more important that we see him as that man who gave that amazing speech on that amazing day and led amazing people to freedom? Or is it important that we know, or is it important that we knew both?
I think it's both.
But that's hindsight. That's hindsight. You see what I'm saying?
Reality is more important. I think reality is important.
But reality, to you, but truth, what's more important to the overall picture?
Fucking perception.
Thank you.
It's oh my God. And this is why women who think like this usually don't get married. She's not married, B. Simone. And this woman, I think, is married, but I'm pretty sure I heard in one of them podcasts that she's been separated. She's been separated from her husband for a while. I might be off with that. I don't know. But the point is, the perception should matter. And honestly, the perception was really reality. Again, he was not cheating on his wife. But moreover, even if he was, that does not negate him being a great husband. That does not negate him being a great father. That does not negate him being a great leader. There are plenty of men, especially when you're talking about kings, leaders, revolutionaries. That's a lot of pressure on a man. Sometimes they need more than one woman. Sometimes their wives are not okay with that. They don't want them to have a second wife. They don't want to be in a poly relationship, whatever the case may be. But they're like, okay, you want to step out, or if he steps out and I don't see it, and he's still publicly, legally, politically with me, like, that's all that really matters. And to women, feminine traditional women, that's really what matter, even to average women. Why are they so hyper focused on cheating? Again, shout out to y'all better read this book. Lord. That was another reason that kind of took me out of their podcast anyways, is because why are y'all so hyper focused? Like, why is this your number one factor? Why is that so important to you? There are literally 50, 60, 70 things a man could do to you that is worse than cheating. And it's not even just them. It's always Black women, in particular with Black men. It's like it's always the try. Oh, they ain't shit because they always cheat. They can't cheat. They did it. And this is not to say that men shouldn't be sexually disciplined, but it's also like, girl, why is you so focused on what are you doing? Like, there's so many other things that he's doing for you, and now he's just not a great man because he's cheating. Like, what?
But you're cheating on your wife. You're not a good husband. You're not a good communicator. You don't value her feelings, but he's great in all these other aspects. How are you a great leader, a great CEO, a great Black man, a great father, a great leader in any aspect? You're not a great husband, a great communicator, a great...
You're a liar.
You're not great.
You're
not great.
Contradicting yourself. He's a great leader, great father, all this other stuff. He has to be a great communicator. Just a great leader alone. You would have to be a great communicator, okay? So just because he's cheating on your wife, why does that equate him to being a bad husband? And moreover, then he's not great at all. Oh, you're not a great husband. You're not great at all. What? Like, where is the logic in this? We'll move on to the next one, y'all. I'm sorry. This is not, y'all, this ain't it. Hopefully they come up with a little apology or the next episode or something like that. I won't be watching unless it go viral again and I see the clip somewhere. But I mean, hopefully they clean this up because this is not a good look. I'm sorry, it's not a good look. And don't, again, stop using our damn ancestors for examples like this. If you gonna use our ancestors, let it be for something in a positive light. Don't use our ancestors for things like this. Oh, well, he's a great man. Was he a great man if he was a cheater? And like, that's just, I mean, come on, Brad. It's just outrageous. Next up, we have a female rapper, Sukiyana. Now, she recently came out with a music video for a new song. I don't know what it's called. I don't listen to her music. But she's kind of being, I've been seeing her getting dragged across the manosphere, more particularly, okay, for twerking on a 10-year-old boy inside her music video. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and play this quick clip. Kevin Samuels comes in at the end. I'll see if I can get his clip because I'm not going to play like her sound. We ain't about to get demonetized over here. Y'all need to hear the song anyways. It ain't that great. So but I'm gonna let y'all get a gist for what's going on just by watching the video. Let's see what Kevin got to say right quick.
Happen. A sexually aggressive, voyeuristic, demonstrative, over-the-top, inappropriate man would not last a nanosecond. Yet, today, we are expected to not only not say anything, we're expected to promote it.
Absolutely. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. RIP to the ancestors. But absolutely, man. A man would never be able to get away with something like that. He will be dragged immediately. People be trying to call police, CPS, all types of things. And I think she got like 5, 6 kids. If that was his children, and I don't know if that was her son or not, but regardless, they will be trying to drag this man through the mud. A man could never get away with something like this. And that's the problem. Women shouldn't be able to get away with things like this either. This is not only was she twerking on that little boy, but she also had a young child in there. While she's in there, I think that was like alcohol. I don't know if that was alcohol or water she was pouring on the lady's, whatever, butt while she was twerking. But she's out there dancing inappropriately. Like, that little girl should not be watching that either. Not only have I seen videos like that before, this ain't the first time I've talked about this, women dancing on little boys, but I've also seen little girls twerking and dancing like these grown women themselves. Because children are like sponges. They copy, they mimic what you do, not what you say. Not only is that just foul and honestly borderline in the molestation or sexual abuse line, if we're being honest, for that little boy, you're also setting a terrible example for this little girl. But that's what kind of scares me and gets me a little sad, for the next generation, is that some of our young women are really looking up and growing up with, being raised by women like this who think stuff like this is okay. This same woman specifically, Sukiyana, is the same woman who said that she likes when Cardi B makes in music. Like, this mentality of hypersexualization for our children, for our daughters, more specifically, is going to lead our nation down a path of destruction and degradation. I forgot what the sister name was, but she was talking about how Black women have to be the inspiration for the nation. What the hell is twerking on a little boy at 10 years old? Who is that inspiring? How is teaching this little girl to listen to Cardi B and twerk and do all this nasty stuff on camera? Who is that inspiring? How is that inspiring any of our minds in our nation? Hear women talk about all this sexual liberation and, I want to do this with my body. We should be able to do this, that, especially for Black women. But we got to understand that we are in a hell of a predicament. We don't have the chance. We don't have the luxury of trying to just be out here selling our bodies for money, showing our bodies for any other reason, twerking on anything, being hypersexual. We don't have that luxury like other groups do. We have to focus on our progress as a people, and the only way for us to contribute to doing that is staying in our feminine. And not on the dark side of it, which is this BS, but on the lighter side, which is modest, which is conservative, which is soft, which is inspirational. That is what our men need. And not only, again, is this affecting the young girls, but imagine how the young boys will view their mothers, view future Black women like this. Let's move on. We got another video. Come on. Keita Rose. Is it Keita Rose, I think? Yeah, so she's a TikToker, social influencer. I've seen some of her content before, and I'm not really in alignment with a lot of it, so I don't really, pay attention to her content. A lot of times I just kind of keep scrolling if I see it, but I have seen her a couple of times. She's talking about how she believes that since abortions are being overturned, the Roe versus Wade whole situation being overturned. She believes men should be held more accountable and, things of that nature. So let's just get into it.
Because they're trying to overturn abortions. Men that don't want to be fathers should be ordered to stay in the house and maintain a healthy household. Men that don't want to be in the house should give over their rights and be arrested. And like I knew I would be, I was attacked. Many of the comments was like, women need to be held accountable too. Let me make something abundantly clear. Women have been held accountable so much so we have accountability spilled over that could be given to men. We live in a world where a man can say, not really ready to be a father and dip out. Well, y'all get child support, right? 20% of their income. And if they don't make income or their income comes under the table, well, that's a conversation y'all aren't ready to have. Some comments were like, it's not fair to punish men. It's the government that's trying to control women's bodies. Right. But unfortunately, nobody ever gives a fuck unless it negatively affects men. Some comments were like, women can strap up and put on a condom too. But the question isn't who is responsible for practicing safe sex. We trying to figure out what happens in the event that birth controls and condoms don't work because they're not foolproof. All I'm saying is if you want to control women's bodies, then more consequences have to be given to men because child support and 2 weekends out the month ain't comparable to raising a child. If raising a child was that easy, more people would do it. Women need to be held accountable, yet it's widely acceptable for men to get rid of their responsibilities and disappear. If a woman didn't feel like raising a child that she had brought onto this earth to, fulfill her dreams, she'd be attacked by everybody from every angle. Before you hit me with, well, everybody should be having safe sex, baby, I already said that. And the response I got from most men was, man, I ain't trying to hear all that. It feels good. Well, it doesn't matter if it feels good to men. Women should make that hard decision and stand up and say, no, we have to wear a condom and we have to be safe. Right. Women, more accountability. In the event that she does make the hard decision and say, if you don't want to do things the safe way, we won't do it at all. And the man doesn't want to take no for an answer, then what? Well, I guess she's a mother now and have to deal with whatever consequences come her way. Things shouldn't be done like we're in 1922 because we're in 2022 and things ain't the same. Men struggle with raising families because they aren't the sole breadwinner anymore. A lot of them ain't even got a crumb. I'm gonna stop you right there. I ain't bitter about shit and I never had an abortion, but I know women who have. And it's not a fun and easy decision, and a lot of the times they have to make that choice by themselves. Whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, that part really don't even matter. It's taking away our right to choose. And the more time goes on, the more rights we will be stripped of. But hey, I'm not an old white man. If you want to take away our rights, take them. But more than just women need to be held accountable. If women are forced to be mothers, then men should be forced to be fathers. And it takes more to being a father than just finances. And if you're pro-life, then that's amazing. I would never condemn somebody for making a choice. But with that same breath, open your heart, home, and wallets to these children. You ever seen a mother or a father whose behavior you really didn't quite agree with and thought, these people shouldn't have kids? Right. Listen, in the event that this video ends up on the wrong side of the algorithm, click on my link, go to my website, and join my text club. Because in a minute, women won't be allowed to get on social media.
Okay, you're dragging it. All right, number one. You're evading accountability just by even you saying if women are forced to be mothers, then men should be forced to be fathers. Ain't nobody forcing you to be no damn mother. Ain't nobody forcing you to lay down and open your legs and have sex. Ain't nobody forcing you to have unprotected sex. Women, shout out to the brother Kevin, Lord. Women control access to sex. So yes, it doesn't matter if the men say, oh, it feels good, whatever the case may be. If they want to have sex, they're going to have it, okay? If they got to have it protected, they're going to have it. Yes, the responsibility is more on you. It's like we like to put all of this, and we like to give all this praise to ourselves and other women. Oh, you're so strong, your body. Oh my gosh, you're giving your body up. You're doing this. You're You're gonna have this baby in your body for so long. It's your body, your choice. You should have the right to choose. But at the same time, negate the fact that power also goes into us choosing to have sex. Also goes into us choosing to have sex with the right man that we know will actually be there. Do we understand that most of our babies were born out of wedlock? Our women did not get married before they chose to have a baby. Do you understand that? People want to act like, oh, women were so suppressed when they got married young and they had to wait to lose their virginities until, until they got married. And well, that was a precaution. Because at least if you waited until you were married and then had a baby, that you were married, your man was there. The chances of him just leaving you and walking out the door because he don't want to have no kids were very unlikely. But our women are choosing to go out, have sex with who they want to have sex with instead of who they should be having sex with, which is the man that they will marry or their husband already, and then turn around and blame everybody else, including the man that they probably knew didn't want to have children, for getting pregnant. You cannot force anybody to be a parent. Even if the government did come up and say, oh, well, yeah, men have to turn around and stay in their house to maintain a healthy household. How are you going to force, especially a damn man? You can't just force him into the house and make him be a father. What the heck? That doesn't even make sense. Again, we blame everybody else for trying to make us be a mother or not letting us choose and all this other BS. Ask half of these single mothers if they would give full custody to their father's child. Ask them that. If they would give full custody to give to their father's child if they wanted it. And I guarantee you, most of them would say no, because we have a control issue. It's not that we just love our children so much. We got to be there for them. We need them. We got to help them out loud. We got to be around them 24/7. A lot of the time, it's just for control. He has to give you a certain amount of money. He has to give you a certain amount of attention if you have his children, especially if you have them most of the time. Has to go through you to get to them, to have access to them through certain things. Like he's going to an extent need you more if you have full custody. And a lot of these women already know that. Afraid that if they did give up full custody, the man will find another wife, and then there will be a whole other family. Oh, the kids love this mother, and now it's a competition, and now I feel like that she's trying to replace me, and oh, I'm not in the picture as much, that kids don't need me as much. That's a control issue for a lot of us. So sitting here trying to force, especially when we're talking about black men, if the government tried to enforce anything where if you wasn't in a household for a certain amount of time or anything to that effect, which that's kind of vague. You just got to make sure that you're in the household and like, brothers got to work. What are you talking about? Oh, they're not the sole breadwinners. Even if they not, which they still are, they still got to work. And they work usually longer hours than us and more extreme jobs on average. So if we're talking about him just having to be like, how would that even work? It doesn't even make sense. That would just be another excuse to target black men. Oh, well, your baby mother said that you wasn't in the house 2 days out the week, so now you have a warrant out for your arrest. Oh, yeah, where your job said that you worked overtime this weekend, and that overtime you were supposed to be at your house with your children, so you're going to jail. Like what? And now you're literally going to. So it's either spend more time we're going to force you in your home, okay, to spend more time with your children, or we're going to take them out your life completely. I bet you to the children, they will take the time that they do get with their daddy, whether their daddies are there consistently, inconsistently, whatever the case may be. And let's get this straight, especially for black men. The CDC says that black men spend literally the most time with their children. So let's get that straight first. For the black men who do not, I guarantee if you ask those children, hey, would you rather your dad be here sometimes or not at all in jail? Which one do you think they would pick? This extreme, nonsensical, feminist rhetoric is out of hand. Again, and this is why I say black women, Lord, out of order. Again, I'm not stuttering. This kind of got me leaning towards black women that lost their damn mind. I might make it that. Black women that lost their mind, because this is outrageous. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Have you seen any of these videos? What are your thoughts on them? Dr. Martin Luther King, Sukiana twerking on the 10-year-old, this sister talking about men need to be locked up if they don't spend time with their children. What are your thoughts and opinions on that? Please let me know in the comments down below, baby. Other than that, that's all I got. All right, y'all.
We do not play by our green. You fuck with the team, might find your West in the creek. We crossing our T's, we don't never miss a beat.